3, 2, 1. What's up, George? What's going on in the House of Craze tonight?
We are back tonight, and we are back talking about another topic that we hope you enjoy. We're going to be talking about make them love you. Make them love you. Make them love you. We're going to be talking about that, and we're going to be talking about Sledge, a hero finding his place. We're going to talk to the creator of the book, and that's coming up next.
Let's get it.
We are the only show for independents all around, giving you a platform to spread your word all over town. Catch the Craze is the place to promote to your fans with the dream of Medina and Sam the Crazy Man. Subscribe to our show and never miss an episode. It's time to get your mans, listen to us on the go. Updated every week, we never miss a day. Join the squad, come on in. It's time to catch the Craze. If you are an independent, catch the Craze. Making moves on your own, catch the Craze. On your grind in the streets, catch the Craze. Join the movement, catch the Craze.
Yeah, George, we did it again. Come on now. You know you want to do it. Catch the Craze.
Welcome to Catch the Craze podcast. I'm your host with the most, Sam the Crazy Man Vera, and I am with
George, the Dreamer Medina. What's happening, everyone? Welcome to another exciting episode of Catch the Craze. It's been a minute, but we're back. It is Tuesday, December 12th. What's going on? Well, it's been a while. Lou's in the house. It's been a while, dude. Oh, Michael, they're all here, bro. The family's all here. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. We've been out for a little bit, and we've been doing work and stuff. So life has gotten in the way, but we're back. We are back live tonight. We have another guest, and he's going to be talking to us. Kerry Chug is his name, and he's going to be talking to us about Sledge. It's a comic book that he created. So we're going to be talking to him about that. Plus, we're going to be talking the Get Your Mad segment, and obviously, as always, we're going to give you what we've been up to. So let's start with that, Sam. What you been up to, brother?
I've been traveling the world,
bro. Oh, yes.
The world, Chico, and everything in it.
Yes, you have. Yes,
I've been traveling for work. I've been everywhere. Hey, what's up, Dan in the house?
Dan, what up?
Yeah. So just work has just had me traveling. I just came back from Miami. Before that, I was in Sweden, and before that, I was in Spain. Those long flights, man, they take a whooping. And I got sick, and when I was in Sweden, I got the vid. So I was bedridden when I got back home, so I've just been trying to recover from the jet lag. I've just been back to back. And I'm glad I don't have any travel for the next 2 months. So that's good. But yeah, but just doing that and try to promote this Indiegogo that has not moved a lick.
Yo, I forgot about the Indiegogo, bro.
Everybody forgot about me. What's up with that?
I think they did. I think everybody forgot about it. Dude.
It is just like, what bloody hell?
It's still there, though. It's still
there. Yeah. And I want to remind everybody it's still there. And I want to remind everybody by showing this amazing promo with art by Lou Pons. So check it out.
Once a year, on Hallows Eve, the world comes together to escape and become something more than themselves. Until a little green alien from another planet proved that being yourself can be delicious. There's an Alien My Toilet available for pre-order right now on Indiegogo. Get yours today.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so Lou honored me with that amazing piece, and when she sent that I was like, "Yo, I got an idea," and I just spliced it up and did that little quick promo.
Nice. Wait, did I miss it? Did you throw it in there?
It just played.
No, I didn't see the piece though. I didn't see her piece in it.
That was it. All those pieces of art was it.
Oh wow! Get out of
Yeah,
here! Oh,
yeah.
I was looking for the cover. Oh,
No, the
Lou,
cover I'll show in a second. That was interior.
Lou,
I'll show
let me
you.
find
Here's
out.
the downloads.
Yo, that's dope. I didn't realize that was her. Yo, honestly, she really captures the. You made a cool promo. Yeah, that really captures like it almost looks like your art.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Duty juice with
She
every
really she
pre-order.
yeah. There it is, bang.
Yeah. Oh man, that looks really, really good, dude. I honestly thought that was your stuff.
No, it was Lou,
Good
man.
job, Lou. Damn, that looks great.
He made a cool promo. Well, we made a cool promo.
Yeah,
Duty
duty
juice with
juice.
every poster. Yeah, I know, right? Exactly.
The
Yeah, yeah, so she
duty
did that
juice.
piece, and not only that, but she also, did this amazing, piece,
Yeah,
an
that's what I was
homage
looking. Yeah.
it's an homage to Wizards, by Ralph Bakshi, the, animation, 1977, I believe, and, it's a fantastic piece, so through if we get $500 in pledges, it'll unlock this, and you can get it for just $5. This is it. Look at that piece, bro.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, that looks really good. I love
Yeah,
it, man. I love it. Lou, how long did that take you? That looks so freaking like
her
so
rendering
much
is
detail. The rendering, dude, like that's awesome. Holy cow. Good job.
pretty fire.
Yeah,
Way to
big
go.
time. Big time. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, no, that's exciting stuff. Well, so how long is the campaign still going for now? This is Indiegogo, and how many days you got left?
I think I got, like, let me see.
I think you put a link. There's a
But
link in the
chat,
chat, everyone. So if you guys want to check it out, if
uh,
you haven't done so yet and want to pledge to the campaign, this is
20
for the
days left.
sixth. How many?
20.
20. This is for the sixth issue of the book. So
The 6th issue is which is pretty fire, this issue. Jonathan Syphex is in this issue.
oh, Johnny makes an appearance. Big shout out to
Yeah,
Johnny
he makes it,
Syphax.
his likeness is in the book. Uh,
Nice.
actual all the contestants for the art contest are in it. Lupin's artwork on what she submitted is in it. Um, it's a nice and there's a lot of new characters in the series.
Procreate. So Lou, Procreate records the process, right? So you can play it back to yourself because I think Anibal uses the same program, and he's shown us videos of like the program itself records what you've drawn and it plays it back for you so you see it. You know
Really?
what I mean? Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I've got another one in progress. That's awesome, Lou. Good stuff. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
man.
Yeah, that's way go for sure. Good job. Good job. So yeah, don't forget, hit the link in the chat if you haven't done so yet. It's going to be in the show notes as well, I'm sure. But yeah, pledge to the campaign ends in yes, I have all of them recorded. Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, the campaign ends in 20 days. So make sure if you haven't done so yet, if you haven't picked up now, I'm sure there are catch-up tiers on the campaign, Sam.
Yeah, you can get all the back
keep going.
issues. You can get all the back issues in
Yeah.
this campaign, just like with anything else.
Mhm.
So if you did miss the first 5 issues, it's available there. There's a lot of cool incentives. Again,
Yeah,
find out
yeah.
what they are. Go to the Indiegogo, check it out. It's really dope.
Yeah,
Uh,
yes. Sometimes if you're not like a Kickstarter person, you'd rather go to Indiegogo. You know what I mean? That's so the option is there, obviously. The option is there. So if you guys want to grab that up, make sure you do. Good stuff, brother. Good job.
yeah. What you been up to?
Oh, dude. So so back in April, I pre-recorded April, May, like in the summer, I pre-recorded a bunch of shows for my YouTube channel. So you can go to Get Your Meds on YouTube with a Z. Or getyourmeds.com and it'll send you a link there. But yeah, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to it. But yeah, I've been working on just getting all of those interviews edited, and then I'm posting them up every week. So I've had Aniba was on the show recently. JD Calderon was on there. I've had a few. I have had a few people in there. Paul from ASAP Imagination, Hades was on the show. Lori Calcaterra, Lori Cunningham. You know, the usual suspects. They've been on the show, and I have a few more that are going to be coming out. I got to get you on there, and we just talk comics. We just talk writing comics. So if you guys are interested in talking about the art of writing comic books, then check it out. Check it out. I'm trying to build the channel, so it's brand new. If you guys want to check it out, go to getyourmeds.com. I'll have a link on there, or go to my social media, and I always post when the new ones are coming out. So make sure you do that. Tomorrow on ASAP Imagination, all 6 issues of Russ are out. I'm doing a bundle for Christmas, so you can get all 6 issues for $6. Also,
Nice.
PDFs for $6, 50% off. So I'm doing that. It'll take the discount at the at checkout. So go check it out. Go to a7imagination.com and check that out. And of course, working on the Adventures of Wonder Dog. Pages are coming in from the guys overseas, and I'm working on a new book that I'm hoping to have next year. I'm hoping to start doing conventions next year early, but I don't know if that's going to work out. I know you have one coming up.
I have
Oh, February. You have one in February,
two.
don't you?
Yeah, I have this one, which
Oh,
is
there he is. Look at that guy.
Texoma. Yes, I'll be there. This is in Oklahoma. And February 24th and 25th, I'll be in Artist Alley. And then in June, I will be at the Superhero Comic Con, which is a 4-day event. It's huge. And this is in San Antonio, Texas. So I decided to do that instead of Fan Expo in Dallas because this is a 4-day expo. I paid a little less than I would pay at the Fan Expo, and I get a booth with an 8-foot table, and I get all the perks and bells and whistles that comes along with it, where you don't get any of that stuff with Fan Expo. You get a 6-foot table, you're tight, you're scrunched in with people. Last year they had no AC in this entire venue. So I'm like, I said, why am I going to give them my money if they treat you like garbage when I can go to this event, which is humongous and it's big and it's just as competitive as the Fan Expo.
Dude, I got I may just go take the trip with you out there, bro. I'm not gonna get a table because just shipping everything out all the way out there, it just gets really expensive. I actually signed up for a pro badge at C2E2 in Illinois. That's in April 28th. I think it's 26th to the 28th. And so I'll be there with a pro badge. So I'm gonna go out there and just walk the floor over in Illinois. So I've never been to C2E2. So I'm interested.
I heard about it.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what the show is like. I heard it's expensive to get in. It's almost like because it's the same people that do the Comic Con, the New York Comic Con.
Yeah.
So
C2E2 is expensive, and so is Dragon Con. Dragon Con's expensive.
Dragon Con's expensive too, bro. How much are tables over there? Like $900 for like a table or something?
Yeah, you do Dragon Con, you got to be able to bring back a few grand.
Yeah,
because you're gonna be spending a few grand.
For sure, dude, for sure. But yeah, man, that's what's going on. That's what's going on, and obviously we'll be back. I think we're back next week. I think we
have a guest next week.
We have a guest next week, so we'll be back next week, and then it's Christmas the week after that, dude.
Like, well, for Christmas, and then we're popping off in January. We have some guests, and the new year, bro.
New Year's here, kid. New Year's here.
Crazy. But I think it's time. I think it's time to get some medicine, bro.
Let's do it, bro. Let's do it.
It's time for your medicine.
Make them love me. Make them love you. When stores, publishers, etc. say no, you're gonna love me like nobody's loved me.
Wow. Wow, there he is. There he is. He's slowly coming back.
I got a migraine. I'm fighting through the migraine.
He's fighting the music. Yes, make them love you. So, Sam and I, we chat outside of this, and we were talking the other day, and you mentioned something that you thought would be a good topic to talk about today on our comeback show from this little hiatus. So what made you want to talk about this, Sam? Talk to me.
Well, remember when I first came to Texas, I went to all the local comic shops and I was getting kicked out to the curb. It was almost like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, DJ Jazzy Jeff. Yeah, right? They're like, get out of here. Right? And comments are like, why we're going to promote you, we don't see an audience for that book, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You get all these different things. So recently I was at a show, Comic Con, and I was doing really well. And one of the LCS comic shop owners approached me. He's like, hey, how come we don't have this on our shelves? And I was like, where are you located? When he told me, I said, oh, you're one of them that told me that you didn't have an audience for my book. Right? So it's interesting. Right, because I was talking about people make decisions based on taste. So he made a decision because he didn't find it appealing, but he saw that I had an audience at a convention. And he's like, oh, right. Forgot about the fact that I walked into that store. Right. So I found it interesting that, if you keep hustling and keep putting the grind, eventually people will find you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, absolutely, dude. I mean, I think people, especially in today's, I mean, we briefly were talking about even just in our jobs, right? How, just the way the whole country is, right? Like retail and that kind of stuff is suffering, right? People aren't going to stores to buy stuff. So a lot of people are going to be a little shy about picking up stuff that they don't understand, or like you said, that they maybe don't like because it's not their style, right? And so we have to prove to them that they're making a mistake by
Yeah,
not putting the book in their shelves. And
yeah.
how do you do that? By just
He got the
grinding.
vapors.
He cut the vapors by grinding,
Yeah,
and by showing them, look, there is an audience for this.
yeah.
See, you see it in action,
Juice.
and now they want the juice. Now they want the duty juice. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So yeah, that happens, man. That happens. But now, what happens when things like that occur is that now you have the balls on your court, and you have the
leverage.
leverage,
Yeah,
right? And negotiation is all about leverage. So now you decide when you want to be put in that store, if you want to be put in that
yeah,
store, how many books go in that store. It's a nice place to be in, but it takes work.
yeah.
Had you just given up and said, hey man, maybe they're right. My joint is not it's not it. The
Right.
duty juice is no bueno. You would have probably they would have never found you
Yeah.
here at this shop again to do what it is that you had to do. Paul's got a comment in there. I had a store signing, was talking to the owner. I told him how hard it is to get other stores to host me signing. He couldn't believe it because he said his customers enjoyed me and my books. Gotta show them.
Yeah.
Yep. You gotta show them, man. You
Yeah.
gotta show them. You
And the proof
definitely,
is in the
definitely
yeah,
gotta
the
show
proof is in the pudding. That's what, for me, it's um, like I'm committed to my craft, whatever that looks like, whatever the end result is, I'm committed to my craft. And so I know that, I believe that energy attracts energy, and people are gonna see the work, and they're gonna and the hustle's real, right? And so, and there is an audience. I have an audience, that I've cultivated, that at the shows, right? And it's translating, to viewership on the art channel, which I haven't been updated. Sorry, I'm sorry, guys. But it's translating there. So, but it's a slow, steady grind. And eventually people. It's the same thing when I did licensing expo, right? They're like, oh, we see the potential, but how many have you sold? How big is your audience? What's the demand? What's the blah blah blah? They want you to do the work first, right?
them.
So for me, it's like I'll wait. I'm patient. I'm still in the studio drawing. So it'll when it happens, it happens.
See, but I think I think there's something good about that, right? About sometimes we need to hear the no's
Yeah,
to to I guess to make us work harder, to motivate us. And sometimes it works the other way. Sometimes it deters you and then you quit or whatever. But you shouldn't quit. Like if you're in this thing, you gotta build that tough skin, man. It's not all gonna be yeses, yeses,
no,
yeses. Oh my God, we love it, we love it, we love it. No, you may get some of those, but those are gonna be far and few. They're not gonna get that many.
yeah,
And so you got to strike when the iron's hot too. Like if you get an opportunity, you got to jump on it too. You got to know when to jump on those opportunities. But you also got to know that even if this person says no now, they'll be back. They'll be back.
yeah,
You got to believe. You got to believe in what you're doing. That's what it comes down to. You got to believe in what you're doing.
yeah.
Um,
And I
yeah,
think, for me, it's and even at the shows, other promoters come up to you and say, like, "Hey, yo, check out my show. I think you'll do great at my show." And so I think when you love what you do, you're gonna attract people. People are gonna be attracted to what's going on. They want to be part of it. And this past year, I had fun at the conventions. I mean, even
hmm
even one that was dead as a doornail. I found the way. It was Paul. It was Lori Calcaterra. We were all there, and it was dead as a doornail. And but I made sales, and we hung out and we had fun. We made the best of it. So it's like even in the worst case scenarios, always, I'm there for a reason. Let's do what we got to do. Let's try to find silver lining in it. But I think a lot of it, I think you just gotta find your rhythm and don't get deterred, you know? I mean, I
Mhm.
can tell you right now, if I go in my closet, I have over 100 rejection letters, bro. You
Yeah.
know? It's just like I save them all, right? And,
Mhm.
so and they just motivate me because think of these Charles Schultz, bro, is an empire.
Yeah.
Think of, Harry Potter, what's her face? Uh,
J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling's, bro.
Yeah.
She got turned down dozens of times, right? So it's like
Yeah.
'cause
Todd
it's a matter of
McFarlane.
taste. It's a matter of taste. It's
Yeah.
the right person is gonna see you and is like, "Yo, I can do something with that." And then, just it'll come when it comes.
Yeah. I think part of like, and we go through it, the hard part about this is that it's not a full-time thing,
No.
right? And it's not a full-time thing because it's not generating enough money to sustain
Yes.
the cost of living.
That's the
And
frustrating thing.
so that's frustrating because now you have to go to your 9 to 5 and try to find time
Yeah.
to do what you actually love. And it creates, you know, headaches and migraines and tired nights, and I don't feel like
COVID.
doing it tonight, and I don't feel like doing this. And so that's tough. So compile the no with that, but it's like you got to fight through it. You got to make them love you. You got to
That's the
make
hard
them
yeah, the
want
hard
it.
yeah. I think the hard part is that, like, I'll tell you, I downloaded, Clip Studio Paint for my iPad Pro
Hmm.
intentionally so when I travel, I can draw. Never drawed once, never illustrated once. 'Cause I'm in meetings, I'm in meetings,
Yeah.
I'm at dinners, I'm at meetings and conferences and traveling on a plane or a taxi and it's like I never get to do it, and then, I look forward to when I got home, but then, flying back, I got the vid, and the next you know, I'm bedridden for 4 days, and
Right.
so I'm out of commission.
Yeah.
Then I'm trying to get my strength back, and then
Yeah.
now today I got a migraine. I was throwing up earlier today at work, and, I'm
Damn,
like,
son.
because I ate something wrong yesterday, and it overlapped to the next day. So it
Yeah.
wears and tears in your body. So it's trying to find the strength, and
Yeah.
then I look forward to going online. And shout out to Lou because she's been my road dog
Lou.
on my live streams. Chatting it up and just drawing, and I look forward to those moments just to go and just draw.
Mhm.
But it's
Yeah.
it's been few and far between moments. It's been hard.
Yeah.
I did a quick little run on drawing duty as Santa Claus for a few days, and then bang, and then it just dropped. And um, I got me this book here because I wanted to get inspired and I like this person's art. What's the name of the artist? I think it's Paolo Antista, and it's called Sourceline. This right here, I mean, the art on
Oh
the
yeah.
interior is
That's
beautiful,
nice.
and, so I wanted inspiration, and, so I got this book, and I'm like, the artwork is fire, and,
Yeah, I like the size of the book too.
yeah, I like it, right? It's a nice size,
Yeah, no, it's
it's almost
good.
like manga size
Is
almost.
that hardcover or
It's
that's
a soft cover,
soft cover? Nice.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
but
nice.
it's soft cover, but it's I mean, the coloring on
I
this is
know.
fire,
I know.
so, um, your live joys, you make it fun, and, so, um, you know, and, but because I was in a r I came back,
Yeah.
I'm in a rut, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna pick this up, I'm gonna read this, and I'm trying to get some inspiration." Um,
I know, man.
you know?
That's the tough part, man. It's just staying motivated and like, you know, doing creative things. Like that's why, like even with the channel that I started, just talking to other artists and talking shop, that's helped me because we talk about things and you're like, oh, I never even that's a good idea. And then it just translates to me writing or whether it's sketching. I just got like I got a you ever heard of the Remarkable tablet?
No.
It's like a little tablet where it doesn't have a light. It's weird. It's like writing on paper, but it's just it's the tablet. And so I'm using that. So I'm able to sketch characters on there. I can write, and then it converts it into text, so that even my chicken scratch, I don't have to retype it out. I can just
Oh,
it
that's
just
dope.
uploads to the computer. It's kind of cool. So I've been using that. Like any little thing, man, that I can use. Unfortunately, we've been away. You've been away, yeah, with work and stuff like that. So we haven't been able to do this, which is also part of Tuesday nights of fun
Yeah,
because we get to do this.
yeah,
So that's gone. But I guess we have to try to find a way to get it done. I mean, like you said, issue 6 is coming. You're working on it. I'm looking forward to lettering it, and then that'll be out. And you have another issue to push at a convention so that people can buy it, pick it up, and other
Yeah,
stores
because
can be like, "Yo, what is that?"
I swear to you, there's a couple of dozen people out here in Texas that will not go on crowdfunding. They'll wait for me to show up.
At the
Like,
shows.
even when I posted, those 2 events,
Yeah.
that I'm doing, because I'm booking my lineup now. I'm waiting for some of the conventions to open up the applications because they're still not up yet. But, I got hit up saying, "Oh, I can't wait. Are you gonna have the next issue?"
Right.
Right? "Oh, I'm gonna be at that show," right?
Yeah.
So that's the good part, but they'll never go to the crowdfunder, no matter
Yeah.
what.
I mean,
They
listen,
just don't translate.
crowdfunding is a topic that we can talk about for days, and why it works, why it doesn't work. I think obviously it's saturated. There's a lot on there, and I think people want it now. I want it now. If I want to read this book, I want to read it now.
Yeah.
Do you have it? I'm taking home right now. I don't want to pay 10, 15, $20 for this book. You know what I
Remember
mean?
back in Crazy Comics days, we used to hustle to put out the books because every
Mhm.
convention, they were waiting for the next one,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like,
Oh
yo,
yeah.
so we used to grind putting
Mhm.
those books out because we were cultivating that audience, and we had a
Yeah.
nice audience, and,
Especially at the Big Apple Comic Con, because
oh,
we were there every time, like every month or whatever the
we
hell they
were
did
the
the
Big
show.
Apple, bro.
Yeah, it was great. It was
Yeah,
great.
it was our spot. It was
Yeah,
like everybody took notice, you know
that
what I mean?
was that was great.
That's what we felt like kings.
Mhm.
We were like, "Yo, this is awesome."
That was home. That was
It
home.
was dope, and our squad got deep. I remember one time there was like 8 of us at the table. We had what's his name? Mike what's his name? Mike, the sculptor. We had Anibal
Oh
over
yeah,
there, we had the sculptor, we had
yeah.
you, we had me, we had John. Oh, it was crazy. We were just like,
Yeah.
"Yo, these guys are rolling deep."
It was good, man. It was a good time. It was a good time. But yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. I think, and remember, Brian Polito came up to us
Brian
because we
Pulido, yeah.
had such a buzz at the time, and we were like the first time they were like, "Who are you guys? Like, you guys are doing really well."
Oh,
And I
that's the
think that that's
convention,
the
yeah,
thing, right? That's the thing. You have to create that buzz so that people approach you, and
yeah,
which is what's happening for
yeah.
you now in Texas, for example, is that they're approaching you. They're saying, "Hey, man, why isn't this in my store?" And it's
Oh,
because you
yeah.
got to do it. You got to do it until they ask for you. You got to make them
I'm
love you.
working on a whole new banner. I'm working
Yeah.
on all new products at the table because
Mhm.
talking to a lot of the people that come to my table and supported my work, hearing what they're looking for, right?
Right.
And like this convention in San Antonio, they're big on trading cards, right?
Mhm.
So I'm like, oh, so I'm packaging my trading cards, getting that ready. I'm gonna have a couple of decks. I'm gonna have the Monster series. I'm gonna have like a bunch of different series, for. So I was like, just thinking proactively, not just relying on the books, but also
Yeah.
on all of the miscellaneous stuff.
There's a lot of planning to go. I mean, next year, the Russ character turns 25. And like I want to do next year almost like a birthday party for him. So I do. I want to do things like that at every convention.
Please. Yeah,
Yes, it's 25 years, but that's a long freaking time, dude.
yeah.
It's a kid. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to next year and again, making people go to the table, making whoever it is that you never know who's gonna come to your table. What up, Grant? You never know who's coming to your table, so you gotta treat that like,
Yeah. I have an
it's
educator that I'm talking to right now
yeah,
into my
because you never
table.
know, bro. You
Yeah,
never
and
know.
it's like
You
that,
never know.
and that's why you gotta keep your options open and, and treat everybody like they're the most important when they come to your table, treat them special,
Yeah.
and it's like, be very mindful. Like, I'll give you an example. We did the, Paulie G and we were at a book signing at, I think it's Collected Comics or Geek Out. They had that new store, and, there was this young man. At first, his mom and dad came over, and they were looking at the stuff, whatever, blah, 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 and he
Mhm.
was really interested, and he kept looking at, the trading cards, right? And, he wound up getting a lot. I mean, he dropped some money on my table, and so he got the graphic novel, he got pinups and stickers, and I mean, he got everything.
Nice.
And, but he never got the trading cards, right? And so, um, I went over to him. He's sitting down and he's excited. He's sitting with his parents, and I went over and gave him a pack of trading cards. He's like, "What's this for?" I said, "Just thank you." And he lit up, right? I know if I run into him again at a convention, I know he'll come back because he was so enamored by it. But it was just one of those things. Like, I have this thing where I'm so I watch everybody. Like, when little kids come over and the parents don't wanna hook them up, and, I'll give the kid a sticker, right? So it's those things because people walk away. That's why I do the trading cards. right? The bounce backs. I call them bounce backs. In retail, you call them bounce backs. They go away with the card that has a QR code. Bomb. They go to your website. They look into you. Next thing you know, the next day they're back and they're buying the book. Right. So the first day they might not, but I gave them a credit. No strings attached. Just come over, say hello. You got a card. Bomb. They leave. Next, guaranteed every time the next day they came back. You got to find a way to just get you got to be different from everybody else. Don't follow trends, be a trendsetter, but look at your competitors and try to elevate your game compared to what your competitors are doing. But make sure what you have it's relevant to what's happening, right? And you don't just rely on your books. Make sure you have extra stuff. Like Paulie Gomez, he does his he gives free sketches, right? That's a hook, right? That brings them in. I got a free sketch. Now, as he's talking to them, he's doing his elevator pitch. Boom. Now he got him. Bomb. Right. So you got to find a way that's going to work for you.
Yeah.
And
that's how I started doing the spinner thing, because that just gets people to the table. They just want to spin a wheel.
Yeah.
And then those are the icebreakers, right? You hand out whatever it is you have to hand out. It just makes it easier, rather than, they call them carnival barkers, right? Like, come on, step on up. Yeah. Some people get turned off by that, and they kind of shy away from a table that's yelling to come over. But if you just hand them something, or they see something they want to do at your table, they'll come over. And you got them like that. But you have to be ready with your pitch, and you have to be smiling, and you have to be ready. You can't just, they come over to your table and you just sit back down and just start drawing it.
Yeah, I mean, and I do a lot of conventions alone, right? So when you got to make sure you pack your food, make sure you have your drinks. I always take a cooler, right? Because you don't want to be gluten-free comics. There you go.
Gluten-free comics.
Make sure you have all your stuff, because if you're by yourself, you got to find a way to stay energized all day. And this convention in San Antonio, it's 4 days, and it's to 8:00 at night every day. It's a big event, right? So I'm like, oh damn, the kind of energy that I gotta have to last that long, I start burning out past 6:00. I'm like, oh damn, right? So now mentally, I'm getting myself prepared, right, for that event. How do I have to show up those 4 days? What's going to make the difference those 4 days? What do I got to do those 4 days? Right?
You're going solo to those to that, the one in Texas?
Yeah. I can't leave because I got the dogs. So
right.
If it was just an hour drive, because San Antonio is a 5-hour drive for me. So if it was an hour drive, I could come back home. But because I got to stay over there, I have to go by myself.
Yeah. Nah, man. Yeah, but that's what it is. That's what it is. You guys just got to keep grinding. Don't farm to table comics. Don't give up on the fact that people are saying no to you, because eventually, if you do it long enough and you're doing, but it's got to be quality stuff. If you're doing it long enough and you have quality stuff, they'll come around. They'll come around.
They'll have
no choice. They'll have no choice.
It's like, I'm not getting discouraged with the whole Indiegogo thing. It's frustrating because it's like it's the same product that was on Kickstarter, and I didn't have 1,000 backers.
Nice. Lou's trying to go to the San Antonio.
That's gonna be dope. That's gonna be dope.
Nice.
And so it's like it's just tough, because I haven't been aggressive with promoting the Indiegogo, but I'm like, dude, come on, man. I mean, it's like you're getting something,
bro.
It's like, dude, right? But at the end of the day, my bread and butter is at the conventions. It's in the street. Yeah. This is where I connect with you.
So that's where your energy goes. You know what I mean? Yeah. Soloing can be brutal. Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed. It is brutal. It's but it's also worth it. I mean, unless you got somebody trying to break in your room at 3 a.m, like I did. So always be mindful of the types of hotels you're gonna actually secure. I got one that's exposed to the streets. I'm like, never again.
You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful with that stuff.
It's a grind, but you gotta again put into work. Keep focused. People will eventually come your way, and then capitalize on it. Don't turn people away.
Yes.
Like I know that I don't have the stomach to go door to door right now, to go to all the LCSs and door to door. Right? I don't have the energy right now. I'm based on work, but I know that as soon as my book starts getting distributed nationally, then I'm gonna hit all my local stores first and say, yo, this is available. You can order it today. Boom. And then go from there. You know what I'm saying? So the things you don't like to do, you got to do it, but put in the grind if you love it.
That pepper spray, kid.
I know, right? Back up, son. All right, so we see that our guest is in the waiting
Let's
room.
do it.
That was the topic. If you like that topic, give us a thumbs up and leave a comment below. But before we bring him in, I'm just going to remind you guys that there is an Indiegogo going on right now. And here's a promo with fantastic art by none other than Lou Pons.
Once a year, on Hallows Eve, the world comes together to escape and become something more than themselves. Until a little green alien from another planet proved that being yourself can be delicious. There's an Alien My Toilet available for pre-order right now on Indiegogo. Get yours today.
What's up, Kerry? Welcome to Catch the Craze podcast.
Thank you for having me.
What's going on, Kerry? How's everything, man? Everything good over there?
And man, everything is good. I was a little. I'm always fearful of how my sound system because I have a daughter. She likes to have her own whatever it is with the microphone, so I have to readjust when I use it.
Yeah, no, you're coming in nice and clear,
Thank
So, welcome to Catch the Craze, man. Tell us a little bit about who Kerry Chug is and what it is that you do.
So I live in Ogden, Utah. I've lived most of my life here, and so my real job, my 9-to-5 job, is to work health insurance, and who knows if currently I have to wish that this will be a high side hustle that'll be upgraded that way. Pipe dream, who knows, maybe it will be the career, but
yeah, that's where you're at right now, right? It's all about that grind. Yeah. We were talking about the no's that we hear, whether it's at a comic book shop or person buying. Have you found that people have kind of maybe rejected the idea of Sledge and they have come back around to say, hey, you know what? That's a pretty good book, man.
So my favorite example, one coworker and friend, I showed him when I was starting to put together was Sledge #1, and he emphasized that he's really only into Deadpool, and I mean Sledge, you can kind of say he's a little bit more on the Boy Scout side, but when I brought a copy, to work, and I thought, what the heck, let's see what he thinks of it, and I kind of anticipated that he would say, okay, for the goody, it's pretty good, but he came back to me, tapped me on the shoulder, and said, "This is awesome."
Nice.
So yeah, that was completely beyond my expectations. So that gave me a shot of confidence, and I gave it to one guy who as I was developing as a writer, I sampled him scripts that I was writing, and he was very critical of it. But when I sampled him a PDF of Sledge #1, I got a solid out of him.
Okay.
So anybody here that sounds encouraging?
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, you know what? Sometimes, especially with comics, when you get a script and they can't see the visuals, they maybe sometimes they don't understand it. It's not until they see the finished product they're like, oh, okay, I see what you were doing here. I get it now.
Well, admittedly, I mean, this was way early. I was very green, and so much was hinged on exposition, and I can't say that I truly challenged the hero. The stakes weren't that high.
Okay.
So, that's something I had to develop, something, that was all that extremely important, that, that it's not easy for the hero. It can't be a power of fantasy every time.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Sledge. When did you create it? How long ago did you create those?
So, having this idea that I wanted to get it out, and not really being around anybody who had any kind of publishing or experience. It's always been like that, and the idea, I've been trying to figure things out to going back to the late 90s.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And figuring out what can be done to get to set up the deal with the artist, finding ways of affording it. And I didn't quite feel ready to go crowdfunding this first time around. That there's only a few more pages that need to be done with Sledge number 3, so that was out of pocket to pay the artist there. And I'm gonna try to figure out. There's no way I'm gonna be able to afford to keep it going. So it's going to be crowdfunding going forward, hoping that we can make that work, and that with this I can market it right, get enough attention, that there'll be some traction from that marketing, that people will be interested in more.
Yeah. So you called them a Boy Scout. So tell us what Sledge is about. Okay.
So
about.
Now, power-wise, the way I like to sum him up, he's poor man's Iron Man, artificial Superman, gadget-enhanced Batman, or Peter Parker who couldn't get the spider bite, so became a gym rat.
Okay, that's cool. So it's your superhero story, and you have those tropes in the story, which I think people can kind of like wrap their heads around. Sometimes it's hard to wrap their hands around. I read the PDF you sent us, and I got to tell you, from a story standpoint, from just the writer standpoint, I like how you explained his powers to us. It wasn't like a big exposition kind of thing. I kind of like the way you did it, where he kind of is having a conversation with somebody else and is telling about it. Tell us a little bit about your creative process when it comes to writing exposition, for example.
So one thing that swam in my head way back, one science teacher I once had, Dale Christopherson,
Wow.
Rest in peace.
Okay.
He would have some interesting conversations at the beginning of class of oftentimes, possibilities. And he mentioned Star Wars, about how, you got those speeders where, they hover. Mm-hmm. Maybe someday we will figure out how to reverse the Earth's magnetism, and hover like that. And I was thinking big. I mean, what if we could magnify it that much more and create actual flight?
Right.
So that had been going through my head, and suppose he scientifically figures that out, and I mean, I'm tired of the stormtrooper syndrome when it comes to anybody who's shooting at the hero. Mm. So I thought, let's eliminate that from being a huge problem, where he, like you saw in what you read, that he's bulletproof, but he's not fist-proof.
Right. Yeah, I noticed that. At first I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And then when you explained it, I was like, I get it. Okay, that makes sense. Because I was like, wait, bullets aren't hurting him, but somebody punches him in the face and he's like, oh, I'm like, you're bulletproof, dude. Like, what happened? But I love that you brought that up. So go ahead. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
And I'm always worried that I'm like you said, that I'm not expositing things right, that I'm how well am I showing rather than telling. And mm-hmm. Like you, I'm surprised, so many people who sampled it, they'd always bring that up. And I mean, I can't say it was the main thing that was on my mind. So I was always surprised how many people saw the cool factor there.
Yeah. No, I totally thought it was very cool, because now you can forget about that. Now you understand why how his powers work, and now you can just enjoy the story and understand that. But there are rules now, right? So you set your rules. You're like, okay, these projectiles can't hit me, but I can be hit by he used the example of a bat, for example.
Right.
A metal bat, you can't hit him with a metal bat, you won't hurt him. A wooden bat gets through it. And it's because of the way the suit that he's wearing is designed. It's not designed to repel anything other than metal, which is a great way to explain why he's bulletproof and all that other stuff. So yeah, I thought that was brilliant. And for those watching and have no idea what the heck we're talking about, Sledge is a comic book that Kerry Chuck created, And within the story, the superhero's name is Sledge. He creates a suit and he explains how the powers work. And it's done in a way where it's not, I'm not falling asleep. It's a quick conversation and we're done. That's it. We move on. So kudos to you for being able to get it done that fast, Gary.
Thank you. And it's also worth mentioning that, I mentioned that, reversing the Earth's magnetism, and I consulted with a dear friend who was a physics major, and he said, don't go that route. Go with gravitons. The science of that. I mean, and it was much later I would watch The Science of Superman. I think that was on the History Channel. They mentioned that very theory as a possibility where you could justify Superman's flight.
I love that.
So
I love it.
Made me appreciate all the more that I had a smart friend. Still have a smart friend.
That's amazing. Yeah, and you do give him a shout out at the beginning of the book, which I saw, which is very nice of you to give him a shout out, especially when he gives you that kind of information. That's great. That's a nice little piece to add to your story. So you're at this point, Sledge is crime fighter. He's got parents. The kid's got some parents. He's a young kid, and I saw that. I like the dynamic, and that was an issue too. The dynamic between the parents. Talk to me a little bit about your character development and why you incorporated that.
Yeah, I thought the dead parent thing has kind of been done to death. So I thought that they could be a voice of reason, take advantage of it that way. Mm-hmm. So that's why I brought them in there. And, I don't know if you picked up on this, but, there's a little bit of hint of what will be developed further to say that one inspiration from a character was Disney's Aladdin. And even further back, and even felt more like that when I really found out what the story of Thief of Baghdad is all about. And the guys who made Aladdin admit that they drew from the Thief of Baghdad story.
Right.
But, he's going to have a criminal past.
Right. Yeah.
And so there'll be kind of there will be something of his feeling some responsibility. And, I would say the angle that I'm taking there is, his another Spider-Man parallel. He got bullied as a kid, and he took that initiative to train himself. Mm-hmm. And being smart and being athletic, he got picked up by an industrialist who wanted to do industrial espionage, and put him in charge of that. And for that time frame, nothing's been. Script has been written, but nothing has been drawn. But he, his being a criminal, that was his outlet, because he felt like he really had no place to take where he could use both his athleticism and his smarts. And he has his wake up call. That's all been scripted, and he decides that he found a way to do crime fighting, and that could be his new outlet.
Yeah. No, I like the fact that you, even within the story, and again, this is part of the writing, and I give you props for that, is that you've managed to give us these rules, and it's a fun book to read. It's not heavy. Like, it almost sounds like, oh my God, espionage, and it sounds like it could get really heavy, and it may get, you may get deep into it. But right now, it's just a fun, quick read, nice, fun story. The way we like comics to be, right? It's just a comic book about this kid. He knows he has power. That's the thing. It's not about him finding out his power. At this point, he already knows how his powers work, that he has powers. It's about dealing with them and finding a way to make them put them to good use without breaking the law. Because that's what he wants to do. He doesn't want to break the law, it looks like, anymore. He's doing everything legally. He's just, and he consults with people, say, hey, is this still legal? We're good, right? So I have no issues. And I like that you added that into it, because you've added characters that will kind of steer him in the right direction, so to speak. So that's also good, man. How many issues are you planning for this book to be? Is it an ongoing series, or what are you doing with it?
So part 3 essentially completes a trilogy.
Okay.
And I probably have a year's more worth of scripts written. So that's where the crowdfunding will come in to play, and keep that going. Well, I think you need your intermittent thing, intermittent, fun stories before you get into the heavy character exploration. That will explain, what was this criminal past all about,
Right.
and I think I found a good way to implement the hero's journey to explain a little bit of a further story of who his mentor was that helped him to develop that kind of athleticism.
Right. Yeah. No. It sounds like you have a plan in place.
Yes.
So yeah. No. Congratulations to you. I know you have a website where they can buy the book, right? They can pick up your book on the website at this point. How can
Currently,
they
it's
get the book?
Indie Planet.
Okay.
indieplanet.com/sledge. And
So they can pick it up.
one
They
and
can pick up both issues there, right?
yeah,
Issues 1 and 2.
2 and 3. We have maybe about 3 pages. The artist, he's in Brazil, and I know he's having his own difficulties, but we're staying in touch.
Good.
So hopefully soon we'll have that all out.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Sam, you got anything for Kerry?
I just put the link in the chat, and the link to
Awesome.
your socials also in the summary of this stream.
Yes.
No. Do you have any events or appearances you're doing in 2024?
So I know there's a local. There are some conventions I can do locally. There's the Ogden Con where I'm at. That I know that's slated for May 19th. There'll be sometime in September where they have the Salt Lake Fan X in Salt Lake City, and that's you have about like a razor thin time to sign up to be part of that to be a part of Artist Alley.
Yeah, it's a lot fast.
And there's also Wasatch Con. So those are my aim there, and there's one person I know. He owns a media store, and I know that he needs me to show that I can be a draw to bring people there before I can say hey, can you book me a book signing?
Yeah. So the last question is, you in the start of this conversation, you mentioned you don't know if this is a pipe dream, but you're doing this. You don't know if you don't know where it's going to end up. Where do you find your motivation to keep going forward and work and doing this?
So now you got to find the opportunities. You got whenever I get the new stuff from the artist Tiago, I mean, I'm amazed at what he can do. I mean, the way that Tiago draws, as you see in the second half of Sledge number 2, it felt like, here's a guy who can draw him to be looked about as jacked as I would expect Jim Lee to draw.
Right.
So he always blows me away with every development, with every new image I get. And in the meantime, hey, it's things like this that especially when I've been on podcasts before, and I love that you guys ask for homework from me to look at, and so that you could tell me what you know. And that it's been a while since I've had any kind of feedback. So I'm thrilled that I got it.
Yeah,
but
awesome.
And it keeps me motivated to. I have my YouTube channel, KC the Sledge Storyteller, and I love what I put out on that. That gives me a face to the brand. I regularly invite people to check it out, to order it, and as long as I feel like I have something to say about storytelling, I'm that much motivated to keep at developing what I've got.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. Oh, it's awesome. Now, listen, I think having your book to read helps us ask you questions about the book that you're creating without the generic So tell us how you created, like without the generic question, we can really dive into your story because your story is different than
Yes.
somebody else's story. And I appreciate that you were open to send that, because some people may think, no, I don't want to send you that. I gotta sell it. I gotta sell the book.
Yeah.
And when it comes to these kind of things, I think that's very important. So yeah, no, thank you for doing that, Kerry. Appreciate that, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And thank you for being a guest on Catch the Craze. And again, if you're watching this show, links are in the chat and in the summary. Check it out. Sledge, we wish you all the best. And you're always welcome back, buddy.
Thank you. And yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
All right, buddy.
Thanks, Kerry. Take care, man.
You too. Have a good one.
Later.
All right.
Kerry Chug.
Yeah, Kerry Chug. I like the way they designed the logo. It looks like a badge almost.
It's cool, right? Yeah, you could definitely put it like on a hat or something.
Yeah, it's easy to market.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, big shout out to Kerry, man. He's doing his thing. He's got a story that he's obviously thought out. What up, JD? Late as always. But yeah, no, big shout out to Kerry. He's doing it.
I think any art form, anything that's creative requires a lot of sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
And sleepless nights and doubts and stress and all this stuff, because a lot of the time it's you're working for free. You're putting up your own money that you're making to pay your bills, but that you're sacrificing your personal entertainment, or maybe taking your family out on a trip to invest in you, whatever it is. You're making concessions. You're putting in long hours, and you're trying to figure it out. And the game is, it's a tough game, whether it's you musicians, whatever it is, whatever artistic form, there's a lot of sacrifice, so it's not for the faint of heart, and go in it with eyes wide open, but know that, you said it earlier, you're going to get more noses than yes, and you're going to get more heartache than anything. This is why depression is such a big thing in the art world, and in the creative world, because, you start doubting yourself, but, everybody was gifted with something on this planet, and so just as long as you found that gift and you're applying that, don't give up, man. At least for self-gratitude, right? At the end of the day, if nothing ever happened, you have something that you can be proud of and say, I did this, bro.
Yeah, for sure, dude, for sure. It is. It's one of those things where, like, you got to love this, otherwise you'll just stop doing it. Yeah. And a lot of people do love it, and this is why we still do it. This is why we still come on Tuesdays, even after, migraines coming on. I was almost late for this thing, and
dude,
we do it. It's
remember that time where I got hit by a car? My car, he ran right into the side of my car, wrecked me, and I still showed up on the podcast. I drove home with my window and my door caved in the middle of the winter.
That was a few years ago, right?
Yeah,
that was
I was drinking on the podcast because my nerves were shot, but I still did the podcast, right? It's like, it's crazy, because that night, that podcast was my therapy.
Yeah, it is. This turns into that, right? Because this is the escape. But big shout out to Kerry for his book Sledge. Make sure you check it out. The link is in the show notes for his book, indieplanet.com/Sledge. So check that out over there. And man, I mean, it's a fun comeback show. We'll be back next week with another guest. And we'll be talking to them about their book. So that tune into that
next week. Let's see. I'll tell you who it is since you asked. My account. Next week we have Jade Loiter. And Jade Loiter is indie comic creator and educator. Teaches at Montana State University in the School of Arts as the head of foundations. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of resume. He does a lot of paintings. He started publishing shortly, and he started working with Lesser Known Comics in 2002, where he released his first book, It's a Horror Show.
It's a horror show.
Yeah, he did. He's also worked on Tales from the Dispatch with Comics Dispatch, and he's got a pretty lengthy resume. So I'm looking forward to that show. That's a new person. That's a new person on the show. Later, Gators.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, no. He's actually, I've met him. I've actually met Jade. Really cool dude. Yeah, really cool dude. I think I met him. Was it at New York Comic Con or I think it was in Baltimore, maybe. I think it was
Baltimore.
Yeah, it was Baltimore, which I'll be at next year.
Yeah,
Baltimore, and I'll also be at Wicked.
Burgers.
Yeah, I'll also be at Wicked next year. So yeah, no, he's coming on next week, so that's gonna be a good time, man. But yeah,
that's gonna be a good show.
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
huh?
No, I was gonna say thank you everyone for coming on, for checking us out today.
Yeah, thank you everybody
for back
for popping in. You know, there'll be some new stuff on the Art of Samuel channel coming up soon. I'm still editing, working on that. And again, I have an Indiegogo going on right now. If you're a fan of this show, if you like my work, you know, get yourself a copy of There's an Alien in My Toilet right now on Indiegogo. The link is in the chat. It's also in the summary in the show notes. I'd love for you to get a copy. You know, you'll laugh, you'll have fun, and it features a lot of talented artists in the book, but also there's an opportunity to get your hands on a cover by a fantastic artist, Lou Pons, who just killed it with the cover. So I'd love for you to get a copy. Support it. Thanks a bunch. Thank you. I had a blast. So did we. So yeah, another week, another show. I'll definitely be back next week. We won't be here Christmas week. We'll you know what? Next week we'll probably do a countdown. We always do a Christmas countdown, like a gift giving countdown, right? Like what are good gifts to give?
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah, we got a few gifts.
Yeah, so we'll do that next week. We have to keep the tradition alive.
That's right. We do, man. And make sure that you subscribe to the other channels that we have. The Art of Samuel, obviously, the Get Your Meds channel that I have. JD Calderon, I just did an interview with him. That's live right now. Sebastian Bonet's interview drops.
I think I'm on JD's show. Yeah, I'm on JD Calderon's show on Sunday, I believe.
Yeah,
and,
we're going to be
talking
on
about kids' books.
Yeah, we're going to be on there on Sunday. So that'll be a good time. So make sure you check us out there. And yeah, dog, that's all I got, brother.
That's it. With that said, I'm Sam, the Crazy Man Vera.
George, the Dreamer Medina.
And we are where we are out. It's just easy. It's not.
Crazy. Acquiesce.
No, it's talking about my friend Acquiesce. I met him. Say my name. Right? This is what you were thinking? Oh, my. He described me. He said, I'm the
what? Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. To Catch the Craze. You are listening to Catch the Craze on It's Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze.
Candy girl.